LOL doesn't mean lots of love. Oh my god, I totally sent LOL when she told me her grandma died. Alright. Hello everybody, hope you're doing very well. Today we're going to be watching memes, or as we say in Spanish, memes. What? Oh my god! Wow! Memes are a fantastic way to learn English because they're fun, they're entertaining, and we can literally watch them for hours without getting bored. So I hope you're ready to get started with me here today. Let's go. My mom asked me for a formal picture of my month-old baby. I sent her this. All right, so a formal picture in English, when you say that, it's typically a picture when you're dressed up, when you look nice, when you're going to an event or maybe a nice party. So a formal picture of the baby, I think what the mom really asked for was some sort of professional baby picture. And she got this, which is hilarious. She left me because of my poor English, but I doesn't care. All right, we're supposed to say I don't care, right? It's the grammatically correct thing to say, I don't care. It doesn't matter. If you look good, if you look like that guy, it doesn't matter. You don't need to speak English. If you don't look like that guy, well then maybe you need to learn English, I guess. Me trying to connect my charger without getting out of bed. Yeah, I can definitely identify with this one. So my charger is my phone charger, the thing I use to charge up my phone, right? And typically we don't want to get out of bed to charge the phone, so we have to reach for it, right? And so that's basically what this meme is trying to explain, I guess. Me taking 2 hours to get ready on Valentine's Day just to get ghosted. All right, so to get ghosted in English means to be ignored. Right? You're supposed to have a date with someone, or you're supposed to go out with someone and they reject you or they stop answering you. That means to be ghosted. And when you're being ghosted, you end up a clown, as we say in English, like this guy right here. So you don't want to end up as a clown. You don't want to end up as the person who gets ghosted, which, yeah, can suck sometimes. Teacher, why are you late? Student, my dad is in the hospital. 7 days later. Teacher, is your dad still in the hospital? Student, yes, he's a doctor. All right, so this is fairly easy, right? The doctor is someone who works at the hospital, so of course he is there every single day, so the student uses that excuse not to have to go to the class. And so the student is the smart one, and the teacher is the angry one. Non-English speaker. I'm awfully sorry at the terrible state of my English abilities. As for the English language is not my mother tongue. I hope you forgive me for every foolish mistake I make. English as a first language? Lul it okay. This is so true. Native English speakers, they don't bother writing correctly or worry about how their grammar is, written out. They just write and make everything as short as possible. I have a lot of native English speaking friends, and it's horrible to write with them through text because they're always misspelling things and they're always doing, making everything short. Whereas as a non-English speaker, we always tend to be perfect. We always want to write everything correctly and make sure everything is great. While the native speakers don't bother at all with that, which is kind of funny. The plural of mouse is mouses. No, the plural of mouse is mice. So the plural of house is heis. No, the plural of house is houses. So the plural of sheep is sheeps. No, the plural of sheep is sheep. You and your language. English runs away. I love this meme of these two guys arguing, and it's quite funny, and it's very common in English that you have these things where you see a bunch of words and conjugations that behave in a similar way, and then all of a sudden there's this random thing that you think it's supposed to be the same way, and it just isn't. And that's the way with English. We have to accept that English has a different logic, and sometimes not regular. We have a bunch of irregular verbs, irregular conjugations, like mouse, mice, instead of mouse, mouses. And so it's just to accept the fact that that's the way it is and just learn by consuming. All right, next one here. Therapist. Anyways, me. Anyways isn't a word. You mean anyway. Therapist. Anyway, we were talking about your difficulty making friends. All right, so this is super funny because typically we don't like people who correct our grammar or correct our speaking. So we might lose some friends, right? And that's why this guy is here with the therapist to talk about why he's not making any friends. Which is funny because he just corrected the therapist on her English. So you're supposed to, I actually made this mistake a million times to say anyways when you're supposed to say anyway. All right, I let my husband label the spices and this happened. I beg your parsley. I'm kind of a big deal. Oregano, gangsta. It's go time. This is such a dad joke. Such a dad joke. Dad jokes is like kind of cringy jokes that are not really funny, playing around with words. And what he's doing here, what the husband has done, basically taken very common phrases and idioms and expressions in English and put the name of the spice into those phrases. So for example, I beg your pardon is the expression here, which means I'm sorry, excuse me, I beg your pardon. And he put parsley there, which is what's inside this spice can. I'm kind of a big deal. So dill is the spice, but you're supposed to say I'm kind of a big deal, which means I'm kind of important. Oregano gangster. So it's oregano in the thing, but it's an original, it's a song that's called Original Gangsta. Or I think it might be a movie, but it's supposed to be Original Gangster. And it's go thyme. I think that's the best one. Thyme is the spice. I don't know how to say thyme in Spanish or any other word, any other languages, but thyme is the spice. It's a good spice to put on your food, and it's supposed to be, it's go time. It's go time is a very common phrase that they use in the US to say, it's time to get started. It's time to go. It's go time. I used to think actual jokes were funny. Now this has me laughing for 30 minutes. Juice. Jew. Oh, this was, yeah, no. All right, so it's juice. That's how we say this word, right? Juice, juice. But it's spelled Jew ice, right? So the second one here is basically the juice without the last three letters, I-C-E. So that way it becomes just Jew. Hilarious, very funny. LOL doesn't mean lots of love. Oh my God, I totally sent LOL when she told me her grandma died. All right, LOL stands for laughing out loud. All right, so it's instead of ha ha ha, you can just write LOL. A lot of people, native English speakers, use LOL instead of like ha ha ha. And it does not mean lots of love, it means laughing out loud. And she said laughing out loud when her friend told her her grandma died, which is, yeah, don't do that. Freddie Mercury, nothing really matters, anyone can see. Blind people, hold up. Blind people can't see. Right? They're blind. So they say, hold up, wait a second. And not anyone can see. I cannot see. Which is funny. Freddie Mercury is, or was, the lead singer of the band Queen. And he has this famous line here, nothing really matters, anyone can see. Which it's not true, apparently, according to the blind people. All right. English teachers when students break traditional writing norms. English teachers when authors break traditional writing norms. Yeah, this is very true. So authors are supposed to have very good English, very good grammar, very good writing. And so if they make a mistake, it's kind of like art. It's like, wow, so beautiful, they made this mistake and it makes total sense. right? And so an English teacher is like giving that person a lot of praise, like, wow, this is so beautiful, this is art, the way you're, breaking, not breaking, but, changing the rules a little bit here. Whereas when a student is making a mistake in writing, the teacher gets furious, which is funny. Americans, after realizing they use a thermometer and not a thermofeet. I don't get this one. After they use a... Got it! I got it! Okay, I got it now. My God, it's early in the morning, I guess. Thermometer, right? In the US, they don't use meters, they use feet for measuring things. It's like 1 meter from me to the camera, but they say like 3 feet. So thermometer is what we use to measure the temperature inside the room, outside, wherever, and it's not a thermofeet. All right, that was funny. Why every Spanish person I know got an uncle named Tío? Y'all gonna tell him or y'all want me to? So, you guys know, right? Tío means uncle in Spanish, and we use Tío, we call them Tío even though they have another name, right? And the guy here says, y'all gonna tell him or y'all want me to? Y'all means you all, right? It's a very common expression to use in Texas, for example. Y'all going, and gone there is not really gone. So there's a lot of spelling mistakes here. So what it's really saying is, you all going to tell him, or do you all want me to tell him why Spanish speakers say tío to their uncles, right? Next one, taught, though, thought, through, throughout, thorough, tough. Me, an Italian who's trying to learn English, confused screaming. Yeah, this is a huge problem with the English language, that the English language in itself is not as phonetic as other languages. What this means is that the writing and the pronunciation is not always consistent. So we can have a lot of words that look practically the same, and they sound very different, and they mean a lot of different things. So the way we actually learn these little tiny words is not by reading them like this, no. Putting them into phrases and learning them in context, right? Taught, though, thought, through, throughout, thorough, tough. These words are easy, you'll learn them. If you learn them the right way, you'll learn them. Tupperware after you store spaghetti in it. Yeah. I used to make a lot of spaghetti and put in Tupperware when I went to university, and that's exactly how the Tupperware ended up. This is a Tupperware. Okay, so that's just a word for this thing, this plastic box in English. And after you store spaghetti in it, it typically ends up in this color, right? Seeing work memes like, humor based on my pain. Work memes, they are memes about work. And typically when we do memes about work, they're always based on negative things, right? If you've seen a bunch of work memes before, and it's like, it's funny, but it's also painful to watch, right? That's what this meme means. Next one, here we go. Before was, is. People learning English confused screaming. That moment when you're writing with pen on paper and think a spelling must be correct because no red line has appeared under the word. Before was, is just a funny language joke to say was is a conjugation of is, right? This is the verb to be. We say he is, or she is, or it is. It is raining today. She is beautiful. He is handsome, right? And if we conjugate that in the past tense, it becomes was. He was handsome. She was beautiful. It was raining. So before was, is. Before it was conjugated, right? And it's funny because if you put this into like Grammarly or some sort of a language corrector, it probably, looks good because it is grammatically correct, even though it just looks completely weird. So you're like, what? How is this correct? Those are all the memes for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know here in the comments below, how many of these memes did you understand? Did you understand them all? Did you understand maybe half of them, or how many did you understand? All right, click here to watch the video right now before the time runs out.